welcome back. Now, this is part 4 of my MindView 8 on the Mac, and today I'm looking at timelines. We'll do a simple timeline. You can organise this for absolutely anything. Maybe lecture schedules, maybe a dissertation and research. It's entirely up to you. So what I want to do is look for your option MindView 8. Mine's here, but I've got it in my dock at the bottom here and I've already opened it. So top left hand corner, select New. Then we need to choose which kind of map you want. Now, we could go straight into timelines and add the data via there, but if you struggle with structure and organisation and creating timelines, you could do it in a mind map and then turn it into a timeline. I mean, it works with all of them. Integrate, you can do project management, for example, and then convert it into a mind map and vice versa. So it does give you good options. So I'm going to select mind map and select choose, and we're ready to go. Now on the right here, if I select for you Inspector, have a look where I am. I'm currently in Document Inspector. And this gives me the option to change what I want to do. So I'm going to tap here and I'm going to do a timeline. This is telling me what kind of timeline I've gone into. Now I've got standard and various options. So we've got standard, daily, weekly, historic, geological, depending on what you're doing. But if you click to the right here, and it will help you with what kind of timeline you want to do. So definitely have a look at that as well. You can see here with standard I'm going to use. What I'll do today, I'm going to do daily as an example. So come off standard, I'm going to select daily and click OK. So I'm going to do a lecture schedule. So I'm going to tap into there and type lecture schedule. And there we go, tap off it. Now if you double tap the inside corner, create your next branch. I'm going to double tap it again. So the first one I'm going to call Monday, and then let's call this Tuesday, shall we? There we go. So I'm just doing the 2. I'm not going to go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because you're going to get the point of this when I just do 2. So I've got Monday. I'm going to break that down by double tapping the corner twice again. So it's Monday, and the first thing on a Monday morning, what lecture I'm going to have? Let's just put math in. And what you're going to have in the afternoon, so we just put physics. Call that a big killer, wouldn't it? Maths and physics. Ouch. So there you go. Got 2 lectures, math and physics. Now we haven't got a timeline yet. It's just a mind map. So what we do is come to the right here, and I've selected timeline as you can see in daily. So now if I come up to the top, go to your inspector. So we've got picture inspector, document, we've got format inspector as well. So if you want to change the format of that, if you're not happy with it, you can then choose a different format as so. But don't get too carried away with them. So I'm going to go back up to the inspector. So now I'm ready to go. So what I need to do is click on where I want to change. So maths, I want to add some data in there. So come up to your inspector. And let's go my map inspector. And you can see now it will appear here because I've actually selected an option here. If you don't select an option to add data, it won't appear in your inspector. So bear that in mind. So now I can add dates in there. So I'm just going to put day 1. And then I can pop my hour in there. I find it a bit flicky. So what we could do, we could change it here. So what I could do and put in 0900 would be easier. So 0900 is my first time. And close that window. And then it's still day 1. So I can leave it on day 1. And again, I can pop the time in when the lecture's going to finish. So shall we just say 12. And there we go. So you've got nothing on math yet, but if you come down to the right, you can add start end time. And there it is, it appears here, day 1, 09, and it finishes on day 1 at 12. So again, we'll do the same with physics. But what you could do, if I click back on math, if we just highlight one of these, if you want, and you can change the data that way, I'll show you quickly. So Command A, Command C to copy. Close that window, go to physics. So I'm going to paste that in start time in the afternoon. So it's Command V. I can just change that, can't I, to day 2. And then I could say physics starts at 1300. Click enter. And again, you start and end time. So I've got a start time for physics in the afternoon. And then you can copy that. I mean, you might prefer to do it manually like I showed you earlier, but I find this a little bit easier when you're doing loads of data, and then you can just paste it in underneath Command V and then change the time there. Let's say 3 o'clock. And there we go. And that's how easy it is to add data. You can even add branch comments there if you wish as well. You've also got an option here, you can do end time definition, so end time year, you can have day and week as well if you wish. So now I'm able to turn that into a timeline. So top left, select view and timeline. And there we go. There's my timeline. The benefit of this is because you can actually print it out and then write on it as well. You can change the space in here if you wish to make it longer or shorter. You can show the timeline title if you wish and show duration bars, or maybe you don't want to show them and just have it that way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, close inspector. So tap on it again. Now come to the left, here's the data that you can add manually. So if you don't wish to do it in a mind map, you look at it and go, right, Tuesday. I want to add my lessons on a Tuesday. So select sub branch under Tuesday. That'll be the morning one. Click Tuesday again and another sub branch. So Tuesday morning, what is your first lesson? Should we just say English, and let's just say doing Spanish, for example, in the afternoon. So we come on the right, nothing's been added yet, is it? Because we have got actually no times in there. So come down to English, double tap it, and then you can add your options in there, the start time. So this will be day 2, wouldn't it? And there we go. And then you can start adding the time using this if you wish. But I find that a bit fiddly. So what you could do, tap off it, you can just put it in manually. So the morning one we could say starts at, tap off that, and I find the easiest way, as I always say, is to type it in. So say 12. And there we go. Now let's have a look at your timeline on the right. You see where I've now added English as well, but you see where I've made a mistake. That should be day 1, shouldn't it, on physics? So if I click back, perfect. And it's going to finish on day 1 as well. That's better. Have a look now. First day on a Monday, you've got physics and maths. You've got the times here. Maths starts at 9, finishes at 12. Physics starts at 1 and finishes at 3. And then next day, you can see where I started English and finish an end time there as well. So if I actually go to view and send it back to a map, so if I click on English, remember, come to the right, inspector, my map inspector, and select start end time. And you can see where I've added that data. So it's up to you how you want to actually approach adding those dates and times and what you actually want to do. But just remember, back up to inspector, document inspector, choose your correct timescale, what you want, be it weekly, historic, or whatever, because that obviously makes a big difference on your map for you. So if I now go back up to inspector, my map inspector, let's click on Spanish, tap on Spanish, and you can see I've got more options because I chose a different option on my timeline. I can now choose a week. If I tick, if you add these in as well, you can choose your hour and day when you select them. So now I could drag that to what date I want and add the hours, minutes if I want as well. So there's a quick overview of adding timelines. And one last thing, let me turn that to a timeline again. You still want to print it out. Now I'm going to print this out, and obviously I've lost all that other data because, as I said earlier, when you change your timeline settings format, then you lose your times, you lose all your settings. So remember that. But I've added one just to give you an idea. To go to File, so Print View, and then if you want to print that out, you could actually add it up here. You could add more of a horizontal page. So that's now 4 bits of A4 paper. You could select Fit All. You can even just drag it just to fit lovely, and then you could print it out. You'll have your full lecture schedule or dissertation research time all organised. That just gives you the option then to stick it on the wall, and then you can write on it and add information. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.